On one hand, kindness. Toys and cards left where a 5-year-old boy landed after a fall of 39 feet from a Mall of America balcony. On the other hand, the criminal charges now levied against the man accused of tossing the boy over a railing. Emmanuel Aranda is charged with first-degree premeditated attempted murder. The criminal complaint says Aranda told police he formed a plan to kill someone at the mall. In fact, he said he'd spent the previous day at the mall looking for someone to kill, but it did not work out. Officers say Aranda told them he'd planned to kill an adult because they usually stand near the balcony, but he chose the victim instead. His motive, according to the criminal complaint, he had made efforts to talk to women in the mall, but had been rejected, and the rejection caused him to lash out and be aggressive. Aggression had gotten Aranda in trouble before. The complaint says he was previously barred from the Mall of America for throwing water in a woman's face and destroying property. More aggression 5 years ago at a Chicago restaurant. TV station WMAQ cites a conviction for assault after Aranda struck a victim with a telephone when he couldn't pay his bill, then chased with a knife a customer who tried to intervene. A day earlier, court records show Aranda threatened to slit the throat of another Chicago restaurant manager. Friday, at the Mall of America, the complaint says Aranda came close to the 5-year-old victim and his mother, who asked if they were in the way and should move. Without warning, the defendant picked up the victim and threw him off the third-floor balcony in front of his mother. Well, the complaint says security cameras show Aranda looking over the third-story balcony several times before acting on his plan. It says the boy suffered massive head trauma and multiple broken bones, including his arms and legs. Aranda's bail is set at $2 million. Julie?
All right. Thank you, Boyd. The Mall of America released a statement today saying their thoughts and primary concern remains with the victim and his family. The mall also says it will save all of the gifts, flowers, and messages left in the makeshift vigil at the scene and will follow the family's wishes about what to do with them.